this is what my afternoon has consisted of. You have to get 5,000 tickets. So I've just been playing all these mini games in Club Penguin. Guys, look, I did it. I got my reward. 5,000 tickets. We are out here. Cute. Maybe me. I don't want to show your collar. Okay, we can do that. This is how she is right now. It's in my lap. So. Fixed the lighting on the camera, the exposure level or whatever. So it is Saturday. I have read. I read in the short story collection and I've read in Hocus Pocus and just... I've seen both my cats today, so that's great. So yeah, I was gonna go to an event today, but I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna feel it. So I told my dad, I was like, there's an event I could go to. Like, nobody was expecting me or anything, but it was a public event just in the town. And I was like, if my dad mentions it again, then I'll go. And he never mentioned it again, and it would have ended a little while ago. So I haven't been home all day. I went out for lunch, and oh my gosh, that fan, I know it's really dirty, but can y'all hear that? Every time I ask my dad if he can hear that, he can't, and it's so annoying, and I don't know how you fix a fan making that noise. I just turned it on. It won't do that the whole time. It just does it in intervals or whatever, and oh my gosh, I'm gonna lay down. So I have read today, and I'm gonna talk about it. Where did I put the... Oh my gosh, I had to pick it up with my foot. It's all the way down here. And now y'all are seeing all my trash over there. Like, oh my gosh. I haven't... My room is literally such a mess right now. Like, y'all don't need to see over there. So let's just do it over here. But my nightstand's not any better. I have a water bottle, a Gatorade bottle, my current drink, and then a lot of Tylenol and Benadryl things, you know, packaging. Because I just haven't got around to... Penny, why does she have to open the door? I shut it, and I don't shut all the way because Fred goes into a panic if I shut it all the way, that he won't out, even though he's been laying in this bed for like 4 hours, 5 hours. So it's just, you can never get it right with the pets. They don't allow you. So I read one chapter in here, in Witches Run Amok, and it was all about the I cast a spell on you scene, and how that scene almost didn't make it in the movie. David Kirshner was like, it just sounds kind of random and silly to throw in that song, just write a musical sequence right into the middle of the movie. But his wife was like, but it'll be fun, and that's true. And they were like, you have Bette Midler in it, you have to have her sing. I don't know, because I only know her from Hocus Pocus, but so they put the musical sequence in the movie, and they were saying, like, in the entry of this chapter that it's, like, the most iconic scene in the movie. It's iconic. I don't know if it's the most iconic scene, so that made me think, what do I think is the most iconic scene in the movie? Obviously, I think of the witches. Like, you have to think of the witches, but I really just think of the scenes with, like, Binks and, Danny. I was like, what is her name? Like, those were my favorite scenes in the movie. So yeah, when I don't really think of just one exact scene. So now I'm thinking with Halloween Town, what do I think? I think of when Marnie and the grandma are putting together the spell, and like they have a microwave in Halloween Town and everything, and like it comes in like a little box like any other, like, you know, when you cook cookies from a box, like mix, that's what I'm thinking of, and it's mixed for a spell and all of that. That's what I think of when I think Halloween Town, and I just think of like the big pumpkin that's in the center. So with Hocus Pocus, yes, I do pretty much think of this picture here. I don't think of the singing scene, which, yes, I do love that scene, but yeah, the first time I watched it, I was like, this is kind of random, so I definitely can see where David Kirshner was coming from with that, thinking that it's going to be a bit random, but I mean, yeah, it's iconic at the same time. So those are my thoughts on that chapter, but I do plan to read more. Okay, let's talk about chapter 11, which is something that during this time of year, the months when I'm watching these children's movies, because I don't really watch kids movies any other time of year, who were these movies made for? So in 1993, they really weren't sure what the intention was. Yes, they wanted to be a family-friendly movie, but also it's pretty dark. You have witches wanting to eat children, one kid who becomes a cat for eternity. Yeah, so there are pretty dark themes, but I hadn't even thought of the dark themes. I'm like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. For me, like this movie, like the mom's Madonna outfit, and then how it talked about towards the end, if a virgin lights a black flame candle, that will bring the sisters back to life. And then the Grinch, the live action Grinch one, that one, they have like swinger parties in that. But it's, so yes, they do talk about how there's a lot of like innuendos in movies made for kids, because it's like they had to get the parents to the movie theater somehow, so they put in these jokes just to like let the parents laugh. And yeah, so it's only something where like my friends and I have noticed that movies had all these innuendos that obviously as a kid went right over your head. They called it the grease effect in this. There were things that when you watch the movie as a 9-year-old, they're going to go right over your head, but when you watch as a 14-year-old, you understand, and it's funny. So I think that's really clever of movies, and it's something that I've definitely noticed watching movies. I don't know if it happens as much now, because the majority of like the kids movies I watch are ones from my childhood, so like the 90s, 2000s, those kind of movies. So I'm not sure if, you know, if it's something that they still do. So that's what that chapter was about. I'm sitting here and I just feel really antsy about the mess in my room, so I'm going to clean it up. With the camera like up close to my face, this is crazy. Look, I'm already procrastinating, whatever. Look at those eyelashes. Freckles. These eyebrows that haven't been plucked in 2 weeks. Look at the eye, look at the eye. Window of the soul. Yeah, so I'm gonna clean my room. How do I turn this off? Let's talk about chapter 12. So this was the release of the movie. So first they had a screening, not like an actual premiere, and everybody who was a part of the movie loved it. They were like, that was awesome. But then the critics saw it, and the critics did not think it was awesome. They thought it would be in the $5 bin at Blockbuster. The critics did not like this movie. They thought it was a forgettable movie. So there's a lot of, why did this movie flop in theaters? So it came out in July. It was coming out against Jurassic Park. And so why did it come out in July? A lot of people think, a lot of people who were working with the movie think it was because Tim Burton's A Nightmare Before Christmas was the October slot for Disney, basically, to be the Halloween movie. And that is one I do remember from my childhood, how I didn't really watch Hocus Pocus as a kid, but I did watch Nightmare Before Christmas. But I do think Hocus Pocus is the better movie. But again, that's just my personal opinion. So this chapter went into the theories of why it flopped and the impact that it had on the people who worked on the movie mentally and on their careers. Stay up to y'all through the afternoon and evening. I just read such a long chapter about the revitalization of Hocus Pocus and how it did become a popular movie and classic that it did. Sorry, my nose was itchy. It's all that skin's dry. But okay, so it really got revitalized when it started showing on Disney Channel from 96 to 2006 during October. And then, so see, I was watching Disney Channel then, and I don't remember that. I never saw Hocus Pocus, but okay. Then in 2007 to, modern day, 2024, they started on ABC Family doing the 13 Nights of Halloween, where they would show, at the start they would show it like once on one of the 13 nights, and then each year it started again more and more, and now with Freeform, which I don't remember what year it became Freeform, maybe 2016, they started doing the 31 Nights of Halloween. So all of October they're doing Halloween movies, and they show Hocus Pocus multiple times. So that really, having it being on TV, really got it going again, and then Halloween just becoming so much of a bigger event than it was in the past, of it being celebrated like all month long rather than just one night, and that it's a whole season now rather than just one day. And then how just the fandom, the Hocus Pocus fandom, how they have conventions, or like the actors just go to like, you know, other conventions, I guess like Comic Cons and all, and how they've had like the 25th anniversary they did on Freeform, and they've done a thing in Salem, Massachusetts, so that they've done a lot of like conventions and just things being great to their fans. Matt Smith even got name dropped, and y'all know I love him, so that was kind of cool again to see him in here. So that was all of that chapter. I think I have like one more chapter. There's about 30 more pages of the book, so it does look like I will be finishing the book tonight and in this vlog. Tongue's in my mouth because I say dinner, but I'm gonna watch Toy Story because on my thing, my reading journal, that I do based on the 31 days of Halloween, as you can see, it has been a while since, I'm taking this out my mouth, okay, we're just gonna sit right there. So it's been a while since I watched a movie on my list, because sports, football, baseball, hockey, this is the month of the year where pretty much, because basketball will be starting this coming week, where every sport is happening. We had the WNBA championship happening. My team's not there, so I'm not watching. But so Edward Scissorhands, I don't really want to watch anymore because I don't want to watch Johnny Depp. I don't like Johnny Depp, so I'm like, I don't need to just watch this because it was on this list. I don't have to watch that. So it's like, which one is the shortest one out of the past, you know, from the 7th to the 19th, because the 19th is today. I was like, which one of these movies is the shortest? And Toy Story was the shortest. And actually, in Witches Run Amok, they talked about at this time in the 90s, they wanted the movies to be about 90 minutes because the attention span of kids. That's really interesting because nowadays with TikTok and things like that, attention spans are not that long. I can speak for it personally. My attention span's not that long. And yeah, it's an hour and a half if you're curious, which is really intriguing because that's 90 minutes like it was for the movies that were coming out when I was a kid. So maybe they're onto something with that. So maybe I do have what my mind, you know, what my attention span is supposed to be. But now, because Cruella's the movie that got me really backed up because it took me forever to get through. That movie came out 2020, I don't know, it came out a few years ago, and that was like 2.5 hours, which is a pretty long movie. So that was very long. Haunted Mansion came out last year, was on the longer side, and then Hocus Pocus was a 90-minute movie, as I was just talking about with the book, and then I watched the movie last week. So, or this, was that this week? Yeah, last week. So we will see. Toy Story is about an hour and I think it was 21 minutes. And I have Disney Plus, so I'm just gonna put that on and watch as much as I can today, because I don't know if I have football tomorrow. I need to check what channels the games are going to be on, what games are going to be on what channels, and then I do have baseball tomorrow. So if I watch like an hour of Toy Story today is what I'm aiming for, then I would only have to watch like 20 minutes tomorrow. So we'll just have to see how much I get done. I finished the book and I will be giving it a 4.5. I love just seeing the making of this movie, how it started as just a dad telling his kids, making up stories. It's about the neighborhood cat and how it became a cultural phenomenon, but it was a journey to get there. It took like 10 years to get Disney to make the movie, and once they made the movie, it flopped in theaters, and it took decades for it to become really a family tradition for a Halloween tradition for families across the world, and even people who watch it all year round. I loved getting to see all that, getting to see all the little things that go into making a movie. Like, y'all know, I was so fascinated that they took dirt and leaves from the East Coast, bringing them to the West Coast. Just those little details, because obviously us watching the movie, we're not getting to touch the dirt, touch the leaves. We're not smelling that like the people on the set of the movie are. And just how they can make the whole town of Salem in a Hollywood studio, that is amazing. And then this is in the very early days of CGI, so how are they doing a talking cat? How are they doing these stunts? How are these witches flying through the sky? It was so amazing getting to see that, and getting to see the impact this had on these actors' careers, and just how they handled Hollywood, and really just this era of 1990s Hollywood. The thing that I didn't like is some sections really dragged, and I can totally understand that the author didn't want to leave anybody out, didn't want to leave any words out, and they wanted it to be as informative as possible, but I did get bored at times and would have to put down the book and take a break. But I still highly recommend this. I'm giving it a 4.5, so definitely go pick up Witches Run Amok by Shannon Carlin. I highly recommend it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you made it all the way through, leave a Halloween emoji in the comments below. And as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!